hear anything about who found him, how he was found, or the 911 call or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
And I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here to get to the bottom of it, though, it sounds like.
We pretty much know what's going on, but, you know, all we want to do is just talk about the man, the musician.
What if Prince didn't just die? What if he was silenced? Before his sudden and tragic death, Prince left behind a chilling message that now feels like a warning. Just when you thought you were safe, he posted days before he was found unresponsive. And now, years later, the woman who knew him best, Sheila E, is breaking her silence. She says Prince was carrying a truth, a dangerous truth.
Do you have the Prince fans?
Just keep saying prayers for everyone, for the family.
There was no sign of this. This is just...
You know, everyone gets sick once in a while. We don't know. We're going to find it.
And what he was about to expose might explain why so many people are suddenly connecting the dots between him and Diddy. Because once you hear what really happened at that infamous party in Prince's home, hosted by Diddy, you'll understand why this story is far bigger than anyone imagined. For years, Sheila E stayed quiet, out of love, out of respect, maybe even out of fear. But now the whispers are getting louder. According to insiders, she's finally opening up about what Prince confided in her. She says he carried a heavy burden, one that he believed the world wasn't ready to face, one that might involve the same man now wrapped in federal investigations, lawsuits, and disturbing allegations, Sean Diddy Combs.
It's day one of the celebrity trial gripping much of the nation. Sean Diddy Combs, once one of entertainment's most powerful moguls, accused of crimes so heinous, he faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars.
Why is Sheila speaking now? Maybe because the truth Prince died with is finally surfacing, or maybe because she knows it's time. The first Diddy party Sheila ever attended wasn't at a club or some private island. It was at Prince's house, and behind those purple walls, things got strange. Imagine this. Tyrese is performing. Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging, literally, on swings hanging from the ceiling.
The first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security.
But here's the part that raised every red flag. No one, absolutely no one, was allowed to bring their own security. And that's what made Diddy's parties so different from Jamie Foxx's or any other celeb gathering. According to those who've been there, once you were inside, the rules changed. And Diddy, he controlled everything. Prince was always ahead of his time, but he wasn't just a genius musician. He was a warrior. From the moment he signed with Warner Brothers at 18, he was battling for ownership.
I know you haven't always loved the internet. How are you seeing progress right now with all of that? Can you use it to your advantage?
It's a double-edged sword, you know. A lot of artists aren't getting paid full scale for their art, and the internet, because of downloading and things like that, is kind of like a black hole.
For freedom, for artists' rights. He even changed his name to a symbol just to escape the legal stranglehold his label had on his music. And when people mocked him, he said, "It's not about fame. It's about spiritual survival." He saw how the system devoured artists and turned them into slaves, and he wasn't afraid to call it what it was, modern-day slavery. Here's where it gets chilling. The same Warner Brothers that Prince fought tooth and nail was financially backing Diddy. In a deal that gave them 50% of Bad Boy Records, Warner helped market, distribute, and cash in on Diddy's empire.
And we have more breaking news. Opening statements are underway in the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial. Prosecutors claim Combs ran a criminal enterprise with his trusted inner circle and committed crime after crime for 20 years.
And just like the system that trapped Prince, Diddy was accused of doing the same to his own artists. Lil Jerome said he had a mental breakdown and got dropped. Carl Thomas said Diddy pressured him to return to the studio just days after his brother died. And according to Biggie's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, Biggie wanted out of Bad Boy before his death, and Diddy was obsessed with using his passing to push record sales. The pattern? Profit over people. Legacy be damned. Sheila E. wasn't just a collaborator. She was Prince's soulmate.
By musicians. So it's being run by accountants and lawyers. So I don't know if they'd know real music if they heard it. What they're looking for is acts that are going to make the most money for them.
His musical twin, his almost wife. They met in the late 70s and toured together for decades. He even proposed to her, spontaneously, during a performance of Purple Rain. It was real, unscripted, heartfelt. But despite reports that they hadn't spoken in years before his death, insiders claim that's false. They reconnected, and in those final days, Prince allegedly told her everything about the industry, about control, and about Diddy. Prince knew something deeper was at play.
Nothing else to prove. I feel like the greatest performer that I could have been, and people who love me feel that I was the greatest performer they'd ever seen, so there's nothing left to prove.
He talked about rituals, about manipulation, about powerful people controlling narratives and silencing voices. He wasn't just fighting for his masters. He was trying to protect an entire generation of artists from what he believed was a sinister force behind the scenes. And according to those close to him, he feared naming names. But he wanted to. Some say he was planning to go public with what he knew. Others believe he was waiting until the time was right. But time ran out. Prince knew the end was near. After being treated for what was claimed to be an accidental OD, he made a rare appearance at a party in Paisley Park. His message? Wait a few days before you waste any prayers. Then he posted a haunting photo with the words, "Just when you thought you were safe." Days later, he was gone. The official report? Fentanyl-laced counterfeit pills. But friends like Sheila E. say that doesn't add up. Prince didn't show signs of drug use. He wasn't reckless, and he knew how many people wanted him quiet. Just before his legal trouble exploded, Diddy made a bold move. He offered his artists their publishing rights back. But there was a catch. To get their rights, they had to sign NDAs, promising to never speak ill of Diddy, Bad Boy, or his family again. Aubrey O'Day called it what it was, a manipulation tactic disguised as generosity. It was the same cycle Prince exposed decades ago, control masked as kindness, silencing disguised as empowerment. Prince once said, "You didn't make the rules, so you only get a piece of the winnings." Now, Sheila E. is making sure the world remembers who really tried to change the rules.
At a time like this, if I was on medication right now, then one pill could have been swapped out, and it would be Michael Jackson and Prince all over again.
And maybe who tried to stop him. She's hinted that Prince carried a vision, that he knew what was coming, that the music industry's darkest secrets were on the verge of being exposed. And with Diddy now under fire, maybe the pieces are finally falling into place. So, was Prince's death just a tragic accident? Or was it something more? Did he really uncover something dangerous? Was Diddy just part of a larger machine designed to exploit and erase? And is Sheila E. finally ready to say what she's held in for nearly a decade? The clues are there, the stories are surfacing, and the truth Prince died with may be the key to everything happening now. Here's the question no one wants to ask out loud. What if Prince wasn't the only one trying to speak up? but just the first to be silenced. Because lately, it feels like the entire industry is unraveling. Artists are reclaiming their rights, whistleblowers are coming forward, and Diddy, once untouchable, is now surrounded by lawsuits, investigations, and rumors that won't go away. Some say the power structure Prince warned about is finally cracking. Others believe this is just the beginning of a much darker reckoning. So, if Sheila E. is stepping up now, who's next? And if Prince really saw this coming, how many more secrets did he die with? One thing's clear, he was never just fighting for himself. He was fighting for the truth. And now, the world might finally be ready to hear it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are we connecting dots that were never meant to meet? Or are we finally seeing the bigger picture?